Yes. Wow. Well, I'm going to mention that. That is fantastic, JR. Whoa. Hola. Noon Report Live. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. All right. Hey, now. Whoa. What's this? All right, folks. We're live on the radio. Un momento. What time is it? Here we go. At 12:06 on this Wednesday, good afternoon, one and all. It is Juan. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. This is the Noon Report. This is the Noon Report. I know, but when in the afternoon does it air? There's a little bit of like the who's on first. No, no, no. 12 noon. The Noon Report. I know, but when in the afternoon? Folks, it is the Noon Report. Good afternoon to everybody on FB, of which we've just had a record week. A record week. But, folks, before I want to signify and congratulations, Johnny Reynolds, JR, you hear me mention him, 35 years in radio broadcasting. Congratulations to JR. We're going to get him something special. Folks, he is an intricate part of the program. He is one of the radio parts of Team One, and a very important one, as a matter of fact. So, congratulations, JR. He always has, I'll tell you, he always has a great disposition. I recognize that a lot of the individuals that, if you're watching on Facebook, you're listening on the radio, you don't get to hear that. But I, I, I need, you have to know yourself in the business. I need someone who is upbeat, optimistic, and happy to be there, or here, I should say. And you hear me mention Jeff, the great Jeff Gamach, quite a bit, but JR is also, folks, he has a tremendous demeanor. It's no surprise to me, 35 years in broadcasting is no small feat. So congratulations to JR. Folks, good afternoon. And again, everyone, you can share that you're watching on FB. This portion of the program is brought to you by PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Now, I recognize that there are different options out there, but I would argue this is where you want to go. They're open 7 days a week. Beautiful selection. Pansies, pansy flats, pansy bags. Especially this week, it's cooled off a little bit. So good for planting. Hangers and bowls, assorted colors. Tulips, hyacinthus, daffodils, hydrangeas. Colors available of blue and pink. Look for them on Facebook. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Landscape Materials, screen loom, black, brown, hemlock, mulch. Look for them on Facebook, as I said. They're open 7 days a week. What a beautiful selection. And again, folks, the service is tremendous. The quality is excellent. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Right now it is 12:08 on this Wednesday. Just For our live streaming fans, of which I understand the mayor Warwick's even talking about it, saying someone, a member of the media, was even like, gee, I wonder who that was. I wonder who was live streaming the black fugitive coyotes yesterday. By the way, I was so tempted to do a parody story on depetro.com. But, you know, in this day and age, even I hesitate, right? I mean, I had a full story written involving Brother Gary and Black Coyotes Lives Matter and you know, my God, they're being treated like animals and that type of thing. But because people are so sensitive, you have to be cautious of that type of thing. So I don't know. I'm trying to find an outlet. It may say parody article. I mean, I like the Babylon Bee, right? Sal likes the Babylon Bee. We like the Babylon Bee. It's hilarious to me. So, and I think that would be funny, right? BLM calls for protest treatment over black coyotes in Warwick. But people are just, as I was mentioning to Roberta, I mean, it is a challenge. Sometimes I think it is social media. And then other times, maybe it is people are just still off because of the pandemic or whatever it is. But in the past, I would have posted like something like that. Normally, my objective of posting is I have to think it's funny. Mike Degnan has to find it amusing, and Sal has to, and that's it. It is basically a party of three. If we find it funny, then normally I post it, and I actually had it written, and you know, especially I think the Warwick Police put like, don't feed them, don't go near them. I had a full thing. I was going to do an interview with Brother Gary of like, he could say, oh yeah, notice they don't say anything about the white coyotes being treated this way. But folks, in this day and age of cancel culture and the amount of people that that just get so easy, you know, people get offended that tomorrow's Thursday. You know, you have to stop. Is it worth it? You know, yes, it would be funny. Yes, people would find it amusing. But you just then, you know. So I may come up with some formula, though. Because I'm not going to start a whole nother website or platform just to do, like, parody stuff. But I mean, things like that. I do find them. Funny. This portion of the program, folks. Now, again, check out depetro.com. And I'm going to tell you why. I mean, I hear different media outlets saying, you know, log on to our website, blah, 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 whatever the hell it is. But when I say unique original content, such as I gander at it right now, we have the Black Coyote Fugitives in Warwick. Keep your distance. Now, we also have the Providence Police body cam of the ATV arrest, March 26th. Now, the way I had to put it in, I am very cautious with social media. I know some people listening or watching, they think nothing. Oh, I'm in Facebook jail for 3 days or whatever. I'm not in a position to do that. The whole brand would come to a crashing halt if that happened. So, like many of you, it can be trial and error. There's things that sometimes you don't understand why something's flagged, something's not flagged, and so forth. So we err on the side of caution. So I put them on YouTube instead of Facebook because we don't want to endanger that. Last week, the past 7 days, this is the most action, if you will, or traffic we've ever had on the Facebook page. And I'd even put out the number, but I don't think people would understand it. But one thing about Meta, they are all about metrics, and they're really fantastic. I mean, I know people complain about them, but, you know, they offer you gender, male, female, the ages of the people that are watching. Maybe some people think that's an intrusion, but where they're watching, top cities, I mean, it's very useful. It's very useful information. So, but just in the last 7 days, and I think Jeff and JR would appreciate this, but my God, that Facebook page. You know, folks, we've had over 1 million people on the page in the past week. And I have the mayor of Warwick calling me out. And I heard someone was live streaming. Someone named Juan was on the scene live streaming the Black Coyotes. I'm going to touch on that in a moment. But visit the website because the body cam ATV video that we have. So if you're on YouTube, you have to log in from your account. Because it's really not that violent, and the language is not bad, but we did, and it was my call, right? The people, you know, Team Juan that was doing it. I said, no, go with, and for those who would be familiar, not everyone is, but YouTube, it's their platform. They want to know what it is that you're uploading, and is this made for children? No. But you want to put an age on it. So we went 18 plus. Now, again, I could argue kids hear these words on the street, blah, blah, blah. But so it's a little bit, you have to do a little extra work because you have to have a YouTube account to log on to it. Again, if you can't do that, then there's only like so much I can do to help you. But the body cam video, it's pretty dramatic. And the police were in their right. And you can see just how aggressive those ATV riders are. Now, also, we have the Woonsocket shooting from Sunday night. We have the 15-year-old video that was 15-year-old that was killed, Chad Brown, Providence, on Saturday morning or early Saturday. Cranston PD Live, which comes back this Friday night. The Facebook schedule will be out tonight, riding once again with Mark on the scene live stream. And then tomorrow night at 5:30 is the Dr. Motter interview. He is the person that's been in the news for Skyline, Providence. Memorial Hospital in Pawtucket. He also did the Soprano Cons. So why not? He's certainly been the subject of a lot of talk. I don't have huge expectations for it, but we'll try it. We'll try that. So tomorrow night, 5:30. I don't know how long. How long is this going to be? I don't know. Maybe it'll be a half hour. Maybe 45 minutes. It's as long as I find it interesting before I start getting bored, which is not that fast. But folks, check it all out on the website, depetro.com. And then, of course, the Coventry woman and that whole thing. And that video of that Coventry woman, folks, over 800,000 views on Facebook. I kid you not. 800,000 views on FB, which is kind of, I was talking to someone in the business, and they said that the way that you calculate dog years, like 2 years human is 14 years for a dog. He was saying, wow, Juan, 800,000 views on Facebook. That's like 5 million views on TikTok, because it might even be higher than that, the multiple. But anyhow, you can check it out on the Facebook page. But it's the website, folks, again, it's brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue in West Warwick. I am very happy with the progress that we've made. Sometimes people ask me, where's the blah, blah, blah? And I always just say, well, and I hate being the parent. Like, well, did you check your room? The person in the kitchen. Do we have any milk? Well, why don't you look in the refrigerator? But all the links to social media, I'm looking at them, are right there on depetro.com. From Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. TikTok is Chinese. All right, whatever. It's an unbelievable app is what it is. I don't fully believe that. And I don't know, what are they eavesdropping on? What are they getting? Information that people like to watch, dancing dog videos? Like, what are we talking about? I also fall in the camp of, I think it's a lot of the other platforms that are so jealous of the TikTok success that they're labeling it that way. But it's not going away, thank God. And they better not ban it. As much as it would benefit, I go back and forth, it would benefit us on Facebook. But anyhow, folks, it's all right there at depetro.com. So I don't mind answering questions. It's part of the gig, so to speak. I do want to touch on this coyote situation in Warwick. So I had heard about it, and then what time is it? So it's 12:17. Folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Before I do that, now I want to just mention to people, we have a sponsor, and I have never worked with this type of sponsor simply because of genes, eating habits, and exercise. I've never had to go to a weight loss place. Most of the people, television or radio, that do these weight loss commercials, most of the time they are people who then they use it, they need it, they've lost whatever the weight is. So no, I actually, as I think of it, years ago, I had someone I was trying to help him lose weight. Someone I worked with who was morbidly obese. But if I'm doing this, because I've met with them, Unique Health, I want you to understand that if you don't want to lose weight, that's entirely up to you. It is. and I'm not exaggerating. Like I've never, and I'm not bragging or anything, but I have never, been. And again, part of it is genes, it's diet, it's exercise, but there are people. I identify there are people, and you could be one of them watching or listening, that you struggle with your weight. And what the unique health, all I'm trying to get across, because someone brought to my attention, someone was offended, such power, that I was actually reading about a weight loss program, that it doesn't mean you have to do it, and it's not about you. This applies to those that are listening or watching and want to lose weight. And it's Sandra, it's Unique Health. You can find them on Facebook or Instagram. Unique Health. Their unique approach. Sustainable weight loss. Contact them. Call her 401 269 9155. Thank you. Sandra's listening as we speak. 401 269 9155. I received an email yesterday. Someone complained. Well, it was conveyed to me. Someone was offended. I'm talking about a weight loss commercial. As I'm going to stand by what I said. There is no medical research to show that there's a benefit for being obese. Well, I don't think it's fair. He's reading about this and I'm 50 pounds overweight. That is your choice. I'm just saying there's no, and I'm not wrong, there's no medical benefit to being obese. There are people that they just can't lose that stubborn fat. Sandra will do that. Well, it's in God's hands. Well, God, people that use that, I don't even know where to go with that. 401 269 9155. It's really simple. It's not a diet change. It's a lifestyle change. You call Sandra or look for their page on Instagram or Facebook. Unique Health, 401 269 9155. Well, what's my obligation? It's a free seminar. There is no obligation. It's a free seminar. Well, am I going to lose? Listen, why not go and find out instead of grilling me with all these questions? It's extreme weight loss. Hey, 20 pounds in 10 days. 20 pounds in 10 days. If you want to enter the month of May, 20 pounds heavier than what you are right now, that's your choice. All I'm offering you is an option, Unique Health, their detox program, benefits of clean eating, habit building. It'll also increase your metabolism and energy. Unique Health. Watch those pounds fall off. 401 269 9155. If you're depressed, winter is ending because you actually like wearing these baggy clothes to hide your weight, that's entirely up to you. Or you could contact Unique Health. 401 269 9155. It's a free seminar, and you can look for them on Facebook and Instagram. Rapid Aggressive Weight Loss. Now, again, if you're listening or watching and you have a weight problem, I'm not talking, and you don't want to do anything about it, then I'm not talking to you. Or I'm not talking about a family member. I'm not. Some people think Juan has more power than I do. If you're sitting in the car right now, I can't see you. I know he's talking about me. I'm not talking about you. Oh, so you're saying I have a weight problem. I can't even see you. I don't know what you're talking about. These people are nuts. They are. I just didn't realize I'm the ringleader, apparently, of the circus. I'm going to touch on that in a moment. Folks, listen, contact Sandra. You don't want to do it, then don't do it. 401 269 9155. 401 269 9155. Sandra, Unique Health. Now, folks, at 12:22, I will say this, and I want to talk about the coyotes. At a very young age, my friend Robin had talked about this. Now, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. And I'm going to share something. I'm going to share something personal a little bit. Because we have a lot of new people that are watching and listening and so forth. Now, again, this is the noon report, but it's on demand, which means when it finishes, you can then go back and watch it. That's why these videos accumulate the number that they do, right? We had a video we posted, and when I went to bed, or, I posted it at night, and it was at, whatever it was at, 3,000, 5,000 views. I went to bed, woke up, and it was at 25,000 views. So, it's there, it's on demand. But it's not your imagination for those that enjoy Many times when I'm out, you have the neighbor in Coventry, or you have the orange ski mask man, or you have Buffet Jay. Now we have Buffet Karen from Coventry, and some of the other assorted characters that we run into. And my friend Robin, who I love, she had said, years ago that she said, she always calls me JD. JD, you have the dog whistle. Thank you, Sandra. You have the dog whistle effect, which is, if you remember the comic books, in the comic books, you used to have a thing you could buy, and I never bought it, but whatever it was, and you blew into the dog whistle, and only dogs could hear it. And so, in a cruel way, it is a gift from our Creator. But I mean, I have it, and it's always been, I don't know, at a young age. It's like people that discover something. I realized at a young age that I just had this knack, if I wanted to, that I could just infuriate certain individuals. Some consider it a gift, others don't. Other people don't get it. But so as I was then older, right, and then I really saw it when I worked in a nightclub, where at the end of the night, and there's some drunk they're going to throw out, and everyone's just saying, we're closed, and it was just the way I would say it, where the drunk would then start to come after me, and the bouncers would drag them out. But in as Juan was surveying occupational choices and vocations, something that I'd always thought, and it came proven true, was, and we know this from research, from being on the radio for so long, and when they actually found, it was several years ago, and there was some research done for someone I was working for, and they said, it's really interesting, John, what we have found about you is, as much as you have a lot of fans that like to listen to you, I'm like, oh, that's good. They said, but we've also found, which is somewhat unusual, is the people that don't like you tend to listen longer. Now, there is a difference, right? You take someone like, and the land is filled with people that have failed, right? A good example is Pork Boy. It's not that people that dislike him listen. He has the effect where people turn off the radio. And there's a number of people like that for various reasons. No talent. Everything is cliche. They're just mimicking something else. They stumbled into it, right? But so it's not your imagination that... So what I have found is it is a double-edged sword. Because whether I'm live on the radio, which I am now, AM 1380, 99.9 FM, where you listen on the website, depetro.com, or on Facebook. But it's actually not your imagination. It's a double-edged sword, because there are people that really like what you do, and they find it funny, and they liked the line yesterday. I'm in Warwick, and I heard there were black coyotes, and that is unusual, by the way. These people, whoa, slow news day? No, excuse me. What is news? No, actually, it's been very, very busy, as a matter of fact. What is news? News is something out of the ordinary. So that's what news is. Oh, slow news? No, it's not every day. As a matter of fact, the work police have never put out that they have these two black coyotes that are roaming around the Oakland Beach area. So I thought, all right, maybe I'll go over there, and maybe I can catch some footage. So not only did I get footage, but I was then able to follow. So I'm following them, and I actually went live. Now, I have since heard that Mayor Picozzi has gone on the radio saying, and there's one member of the media was doing a live stream of the black coyotes. My God. But I want to just clarify two things. Now, number one, I was keeping a distance. I didn't honk a horn, right? They're just wandering, roaming around. They are. There were some people that were getting very close. Hey, Channel 10, then they had the footage of, I think that was the guy in front of me. The animal control officer on site. DEM is on site. Animal control officer of Warwick is on site. And by the way, we do have our new show, Animal Officer. Episode 1 is online, and then we're going to be doing other episodes with that. But I want to take exception with two things. This business of just leave them alone. You have, in that area, a leash law. So in that area, much like other areas, they don't allow dogs to just roam aimlessly. Now, some people saying, well, those aren't coyotes. Well, the police identified them as coyotes, or the animal officer has in DEM. So I don't disagree with those individuals who say that, they should relocate them. But yesterday, if you saw it, this one family was panicked. And she was screaming at the kids, get out of the house. One of them went up to the kiddie pool to drink out of it. So these people, well, don't bother them. Well, I'm not bothering them. And even though I left, I was there for all of less than 30 minutes. They're still there, and the people are still there. And the busy season of spring, summer into the Oakland Beach area is coming upon us. But just two elements of it. One is, slow news day? Well, excuse me. It's not every day that you have two coyotes. Now, over near, because I'm very familiar with Warwick, the Hendricken Senior Campus is farther down to Warwick Neck. I lived at one point in Warwick Neck, and then Rocky Point, and I had a relative that lived down at Warwick Neck. Now, down along there, especially around the OLM Seminary where the mansion is, whatever the hell it is, I can't think of it. What's that mansion? I want to say McManus, but I don't think that's it. Well, anyway, the mansion down that's connected to used to be the Warwick Senior Campus of Hendricken. It's now a private boarding school. But anyhow, it is woodsy. And around Rocky Point, so there are coyotes. But this is different because they're black. They look different. They're not rabid. They're not nocturnal. And they are just roaming the streets. So it is unusual. And obviously, people shouldn't be feeding them. But no, that doesn't happen every day. There was, what was the animal that was loose in Johnston? And it's not a matter of a slow news day. It comes down to whether or not that is news. And I fully get some people don't, they go through, they have no idea what's news and what's not news. And I constantly, unfortunately, have to see it posted on my pages. Oh, this isn't news. No, that means that's not news you're interested in. It doesn't mean it's not news. This is weekly. I have to explain to people. Not news. The planes are landing on time at TF Green Airport. That's not news. A plane emergency landing or crash. That's news. Why? It's out of the ordinary. It's unusual. Fox is paying Dominion $786 million. Fox News Channel is paying Dominion. Remember the voting machine? $786 million. That's news. Never been done before. Not 7 million. Not 86 million. 786 million. Almost 800 million. Almost 1 billion. And if they just put that money in the bank, it would grow to 1 billion. Dog bites man. Not news. Man bites dog. That's news. So the notion that two black coyotes roaming around Oakland Beach, that the police had to put out a notification, that is absolutely news. But I'm not gonna go. I posted just, should we go back? I didn't expect I'd find them that easily. You're gonna get them. How am I gonna get them killed? Because I was there for 20 minutes. They listen. Warwick is a good animal control officer. The work police are on top of it. The DEM is there. The vitriol, the messages I get. I'll tell you, the animal advocate people. They almost have with no peers as far as just they go ballistic about anything. I got the most vicious message from this older woman. But you'd think that I'd hunted them. So, and to go into their domain and seek them out. You must be a sick person. Hold on, domain? Oakland Beach? Where they're roaming around top of the bay in Iggy's? That's their natural habitat? I'm not posting a photo in Africa where somebody helped me hunt down a leopard. I was doing a live stream following some black coyotes around. Good God. I hope you ought to rot in hell for that. How dare I ought to rot in hell because I did a live stream? And the woman, she had one of those older names you don't hear about. You just don't hear as much anymore. Gertrude or something like that. She lives in Swansea. How dare those poor creatures? I'm tempted to, if you do that, I'm gonna go after you. All right, everybody take a chill pill. I just said I don't think I'm going back. But it is problematic for people to just leave them alone. Well, that's not being realistic. They're either gonna get hit, or they're gonna eat someone's cat, or they are actually that's in a neighborhood. It is. I believe DM needs to relocate them somewhere, and I don't know enough about it. But I will say DM and Warwick Animal Officer, they're on top of the situation. They are. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro show, hey, maybe they ought to bring in Falcon Pest Service. I mean, if they can handle, and I don't mean to exterminate them, just to relocate them. 401-739-1322. Falcon Pest Services, serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Pest control services. Maybe some people want termites captured. Don't kill the bed bug. Well, that's what they do. Don't kill those ants. Relocate them. Roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests. Falcon Pest Services. Call them today. 401-739-1322. 401-739-1322. Falcon Pest Services. Maybe it's a one-time treatment. Maybe it's once a quarter. Maybe it's once a year. Maybe it's once a month. Home, building, business, condo. They offer extermination services basically to get rid of any unwanted pests. Falcon. Think of the falcon swooping down. You can also find them on Facebook. Residential commercial. Falcon. If in your house, in your home, domicile, in your homeless encampment, you have some ants or roaches, call Falcon. 401-739-1322. Online, falconpestservice.com. Well, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Listen, it is unusual, and the mayor Warwick, is going to have to deal with it. And like everyone else, I didn't honk the horn. I didn't go after them. It's different though, and it is the talk, and it absolutely rocketed on social media. And as soon as I saw that's different, right? And then suddenly now the thing has really, really taken off. But you can see the video. I do a lot of, yes, live streaming, but then we do other types of video. That one I don't remember. That I don't recall an incident like that. And I think the just the interest of it. I think they should. There's an opening for something like that. Instead of Warwick just handling that way, maybe Warwick ought to have. And again, I'm just spitballing here, but like some kind of like a little petting zoo or zoo for them. I don't know. I mean, yes, there's Roger Williams Park Zoo, but it doesn't mean you could have some area where people could go look at animals. It's a good attraction, right? I always like the zoo. Sometimes if I go out of town, I'm visiting for a while, I like to visit their zoo. It's different. It's a total break from what you're doing. It's a relaxing day, visiting a zoo, and different. Whether it's I've been to a lot of different zoos. The LA Zoo is fantastic. I've been to the zoo in Washington D.C. is really terrific. It is nice to go to a zoo. I regret now. I realize I should have gone to the zoo when I was in Eastern Europe. I don't know if the zoo in Ukraine was open, and I'll have to check to see if I missed out on the Poland zoo. But why not? It's different, and I think. But these people that just go 0 to 60 over the reaction of it, and then who knows how that's going to end. But I disagree with those that say kind of like, oh, just leave them alone. No, it's a problem. It's a problem for people that do have small children or have pets. I mean, there's already a problem with people. Middletown has coyote problem. North Kingstown has a coyote problem. And Warwick Neck has a coyote problem where they're eating small animals, domestic pets, cats. They'd go after a little dog. So I don't know about just leave them alone, but I can see there was definitely an interest there. It's unusual. Some people were freaked. If you see the video, this lady is screaming at her husband, "Get out of the house!" It was actually quite entertaining. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, hey, if you want to improve your home, one way to do it, or business, is what about the outside? What about J. Perry Paving? If you're looking for someone to pave your driveway, I found them. Letter J, J. Perry Paving. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service, 20 years experience, commercial paving, residential paving, seal coating patios. Call for a free estimate, 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730, letter J, J. Perry Paving. Licensed and insured contracted company. They will, no matter how big or how small, J. Perry Paving. And remember, no one is better for veterans, with veterans, than J. Perry Paving. They have a special package designed around veterans. So you will not get a better deal if you're a veteran, or if this is your grandfather, or if it's your dad, or your son, or daughter, aunt, uncle. J. Perry Paving. There's no one better in helping veterans. This is the least expensive way. And I've been with J. Perry Paving. They even were doing a drawing, and they were paving the driveway of a veteran. At one point, they were doing it once a month. I think they're just very overwhelmed with the work. But and remember, even asphalt is affordable, smooth, safe to drive on. J. Perry Paving. Folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, right now, it's 1240. We will be doing Facebook Live tonight. First on the scene live stream. Tomorrow night is the Dr. Motter interview. Cranston PD Live, episode 19, is this Friday night at 7 o'clock. And then whatever happens in between there. So if you like unedited, unfiltered, raw, more to the story. I think if anything, we demonstrate every single week how much goes on behind the scenes that the media is not reporting on. And a perfect example is NBC 10 should have charged that woman in Coventry. Absolutely, she should have been charged. That is felony assault. She drove her truck, that neighbor in Coventry, drove her truck up onto a lawn. And if that Channel 10 photographer had not jumped out of the way, she would have run over his legs. And then she was backing up to try to still hit him. Absolutely should have been charged. And how come I'm the only one in the media that reported on that? And then we were ahead of the curve on a lot of those stories. Now, folks, we don't always, I also posted yesterday, it was a week ago Tuesday, I got a tip that there was something going on in West Warwick. I heard state police, I heard dogs, I heard SWAT team. I didn't have an address. I drove to West Warwick. I was riding around. I couldn't find anything. It's tough. What happened was they didn't have their lights going. But if you saw the story, there was a guy in West Warwick who was building pipe bombs in his home or basement, what have you. So I was there. That was the scene I was trying to find. They raided the guy and had him come out with his hands up. But we got tipped off late. But it was also difficult because most of the time when I'm heading to a crime scene, once you get close, you just look for the police lights, right? Like, I know it's in a general area. We're booking over there. But with the West Warwick thing, they didn't have the lights going. So I knew about it, and it was frustrating because I'm over there. I'm in West Warwick for whatever it was, 20, 25 minutes. I know there's something going on. It's like the scene in Heat, right? Al Pacino with Vincent Hanna. And he's like, Macaulay is still here. I can feel it. He has not left yet. I knew there was something going on. I knew I had a good tip. I just could not find where this was. And then we learned it yesterday. So, but I want you to know that also goes with it. There's a lot of false alarms. I mean, there just are. And it's funny when I deal with law enforcement, of which we do on a daily basis now, they often will, the members of law enforcement, much like first responder fire, but they'll say, see now, Juan, you see what we go through with false alarms. And it happens that way sometimes. Not complaining, but we did go, I was there. We were ready. But I couldn't, and I rode right, I mean, not exactly, it's not like I rode down the street, but the street where this nut lived, who was building the pipe bombs, he, who knows, what is someone going to do with two pipe bombs? Building them in his basement. I did share it on Facebook. The West Warwick police put out something. We were so close. I mean, I rode by his street, but it's a little blocked and hidden. I mean, I'd rather know we were close than like there was nothing going on. So we were there. We could not find him. It was just one of those things. Folks, this portion of the John depetro show, hey, I want to remind you that why not take advantage? Our guy, Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial. Now, this is, well, we're now past, it's tax day. Whatever your taxes are, your situation, investment, a lot of people are confused. Should they put their money in gold? Should they go crypto? Do you want to start a plan of retirement or some kind of a savings plan? Why not right now, on this Wednesday, April 19th, seize the day. Ameriprise Financial. Call Tom Bryan today, 401-434-1510. Office is located 400 Massasoit Avenue in East Providence. Our guy, Tom Bryan, Bryan Associates, Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. And this is so simple. Let me map it out for you. You call the number, 401-434-1510. You book an appointment. Book an appointment to get in to see with Vanessa, with Tom Bryan and Ameriprise, 400 Massasoit Avenue in East Providence. Hey, walk in, no obligation, and let him go to work for you and answer your questions. But I'm offering you the free consultation with Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial, whether it's long-term care coverage, whether it is trying to set money aside for your grandchildren's education, your children's education. Maybe you just have some general financial questions. Folks, you can't go wrong. Free consultation. Tom Bryan, Ameriprise, 401-434-1510. Ameriprise Financial. Well, right now at 12:46, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I want to once again, I'm looking at the headline, Dominion victory stuns media. Wow. 787 million. Now, the Drudge Report has the cost of Trump lies. I think there's fallout from that. Now, I'm also seeing, how about more drama? Fox faces 2.7 billion Smartmatic claim. This is a story I didn't know. Ron went to Washington. It did not go well. Donors worry. Miserable 24 hours. Rivals mock for getting destroyed in Disney feud. Trump's list of endorsements show Republicans returning. Fears of Austin, Texas serial killer. Eighth body pulled from lake. I may have to go down there and do live stream. Let me just read this with rich GOP donors want a Trump alternative. DeSantis has them worried. Trump's surge in the polls has sidelined some major Republican donors, losing confidence in DeSantis. Just a few months ago, DeSantis loomed as a Trump slayer, conservative culture warrior, who won over independent voters in his landslide re-election with none of the baggage of the former president, but serious missteps since the start of the year have given some big donors pause. DeSantis has stumbled with his position on the war in Ukraine, continues to battle Walt Disney, one of Florida's most important employers, over education policies made a clumsy attack on Trump for paying too much hush money. The former president used his indictment from the Manhattan DA to rally the party around him, juicing both his polls and his fundraising. Florida governor planned to visit Washington twice this week. Wants to meet with Republican lawmakers and wants to speak at the Heritage Foundation 50th Anniversary Summit. DeSantis has yet to officially enter the race, and his political allies have only just begun efforts to undermine Trump's popularity among Republican voters. Nonetheless, there's a sense among some large GOP donors that the Florida governor has already peaked, and he doesn't have whatever it takes to knock off Trump, who has effectively dominated Republican politics for a decade. Trump absolutely could win the nomination, and that would spell doom for November 2024, though, said Dan Ebert, an energy executive donor who gave Trump $100,000 for his first re-election campaign in 2020, but now intends to support DeSantis. Republican donors have been ready for new party standard bearer for a while now. Donors want to win. Now, I want to, let's see, John Katz, New York billionaire, who has backed Trump in prior races, said he won't endorse any candidate till at least the Republican primary debate in August. The real estate groceries gave hundreds of thousands to the 2020 re-election effort. He said in an interview he doesn't like Trump's propensity to make enemies. DeSantis has some problems. Seen as a struggling candidate. Folks, I'm going to say what I have said. I'm going to repeat what I have said. You never know until you see them up on the debate stage. And so I see people, and again, good afternoon at 12:50. You see people taking sides, more pro-Trump people, as opposed to, say, taking sides in favor of DeSantis. But trust me, and you can disagree, but I'm telling you right now, at 12:51 on this Wednesday, it takes, if you want to be objective about it, but August is the first debate. It takes discipline and patience. After the first debate in August, we'll learn a little bit more of where the candidates stand. And what I mean by that is I don't mean where they stand on the issues. It's how they present themselves. You can see the momentum. You can see who navigates better. Many times, it's tough to say like who wins a debate. A lot of times it's just who doesn't lose the debate, who really showcases themselves. So there's going to be a debate in August, and then I'm pretty sure there's going to be a debate in September, and then a debate in October. I believe after the first couple that we'll have a clearer idea of who it is. I am, like other people, I'm curious to see how President Trump is going to handle some of the people on the stage against him. You can already kind of tell some of the people that, I don't know, there's just a world of difference before you see them really get up there. And I'll just use a local election. The Democrat primary for governor in 2014, you had Clay Pell, you had Gina Raimondo, and you had Angel Tavares. She was the general treasurer, and he was the mayor of Providence, and Pell was whatever he was, Michelle Kwan's husband. But at the end of the night, I mean, one thing you knew, many times I found in a debate, one thing it tells you who it's not going to be. And it was very obvious it wasn't going to be him. He was talking a mile a minute. He'd never been in a debate before. And he bombed out. So you knew it was either going to be Raimondo or Angel Tavares. And if it had been a head-to-head, he probably would have won. And he was good. I liked Mayor Tavares. I got along with Mayor Tavares. I thought he was a good mayor. But Raimondo really went after him on Providence. Right? Do you see cranes in the sky? Economic malaise? Empty Superman building? She had very good visuals that really pounded him, so you could tell. When you go back to 2015-16, right? I had people telling me, Marco Rubio. Yeah, I don't think so. I watched the debates. Jeb Bush, he was the favored. No. Ted Cruz. Someone came up to me one time and said, well, it looks like we're all behind Governor Kasich. I said, I'm not, I don't think, I said, are you watching the same debates that I am? Because the debates that I saw, Trump was clearly the winner and the best and the most powerful and just had the most impact at these debates. So they do make a difference. And then you also saw it this past fall, Helena Bonanno Folks. She was better than anyone else in the Channel 10 debate and then in the Channel 12 debate. She was better than Matt Brown. She was better than Nellie Gorbea. She was better than Dan McKee. So I would just say, for all of this talk and everything else, you never know until we get up there. And I believe that this August into September, after watching the Republican debates, and it'll be President Trump, and let's see who else jumps into the pool. At the end of the first debate, forget about the moderators, forget about all these excuses built in. At the end of the first debate, I believe someone who's objective will be able to say, okay, President Trump is still the best Republican candidate. It's possible. Or, wow, so-and-so was a real factor tonight, or a force. Very possible. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and it's brought to you by Limitless Outdoors. Now, it's a little chilly, but the good weather is here. I did receive an email from Lindsay, who said, one, we want to, they contacted someone and they want to have a room added on, and they told them it would, it was going to be way more expensive than they thought. And it would be over a year before they could get it done. And then they thought of me talking about Limitless Outdoors. And Chris, we can get a free quote. 401-580-1852. It starts where they come to your property. Let's have a discussion how you want to use your outdoor space. And then they can design it to fit your aesthetics and lifestyle. They specialize in patios, walkways, steps, outdoor kitchens, outdoor fireplaces, outdoor fire pits, landscape lighting, retaining walls, lawn installation, excavation, Limitless Outdoors. And their slogan, dream, build, enjoy. Call Chris, free consultation. They're right in Smithfield. Limitless Outdoors, 401-580-1852. It's not your imagination. It is expensive to have an addition put onto your home. But you want to improve your home? Let's utilize some of that outdoor space. And they'll work with you. How you can have more privacy. Well, I don't want my neighbor looking at me. Well, they can design that. We want to be outside, but I want a little more privacy. I want a place we can eat and cook outside and really enjoy the nice weather. Limitless Outdoors. Call for a free quote. 401-580-1852. Look for them on Facebook, and the website is limitlessoutdoorsri.com. I've met with Chris. He is really talented. They are very, very talented. And what a difference they can make. All right, so you're not sitting there on Christmas Eve because you're outside. But for crying out loud, you can use it, April or March through Christmas almost. It might be 2 months you can't use it, but Limitless Outdoors. Now, folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show is brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. Remember, hey, don't tell you I didn't remember. 7 days a week, doctors and nurses. You need urgent care. AtMed Urgent Care. 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston. 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. The next time you need urgent care, or a family member, or a coworker, or whoever. But these emails I get of people, one, we went to the emergency room. My mother had to wait, 8 hours. It's insanity. AtMed Urgent Care. You have an option. 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston, right in the Atwood Medical Center, and 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. I've been to both. When I needed urgent care. AtMed Urgent Care. I'm not sending you anywhere I haven't been myself. 2 locations when you need urgent care. All right. Now, Dan McGowan of the Boston Globe, we're going to have our conversation with him next hour. And, folks, he also talks about, and I think he's very fair. Governor McKee is very upset about the column that Dan McGowan wrote that I thought was very accurate about the lack of the education plan. Governor McKee, they're having some struggles right now. They're having some struggles. They can point to, oh, look, our poll numbers are at 50%. I don't believe that. And I think they're only going to get worse. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. We have another full hour to go. AM 1380, 99.9 FM. You can listen online at the website, depetro.com. Juan, first on the scene live stream later on Facebook. The Mata interview is tomorrow. Cranston PD Live comes back on Friday. Right now, let's get a news update. It's time for the 1 o'clock news.